Hello and welcome to 5-Year Club video number 164, Get Out Edition. I started thinking about what to do in this video just from the premise, for me, that this time of year is usually the time when my financial plan starts to kind of go off the rails. And I think that there are two reasons for that. Number one is that there are some like plane tickets and things that I have to buy by June or so, because if I wait, then the prices are going to go up significantly. And the other thing is that I know that I can save a good amount of money in January, February, March, April, May, because there's just not a lot going on that's mandatory. And I'm tired of saving by this time usually. I think this year I'm less tired. So I think like my saving muscles have actually gotten a little bit bigger emotionally, but I know like the last 2 years, by the time I get to June, I'm like, I just want to buy stuff, like whatever it is, the like video games and movies and the normal stuff that I like to impulsively buy, especially if they're around like the $5 or $10 mark. I love that stuff. Anyway, I recently spent a bunch of money on travel related stuff and I'm happy about it, but I've noticed that my brain's kind of like, oh, you spent that money? How about you just spend a little more? Screw it. You've already spent some. Just spend a whole lot, or not a whole lot, but at least, spend the same amount on travel on just some random crap. And I'm definitely having to tell myself like, no, don't do that. And, I haven't been 100% successful. I think I've spent about $100 outside of budget so far in June, other than the travel stuff, other than the home insurance. June's been a very expensive month because all those bills, came due, but I'm still like, broadly speaking, on track with a good savings rate, so that's fine. Anyway, got me thinking, I wonder if people have studied this before. Have they studied some kind of momentum to spending where once you spend and drop a bunch of money on one thing, you're like, well, my budget's nuked anyway, so I might as well just spend the rest of this too. And because I know that's a thing for me, but I don't know if it's been formally studied. So I went looking for articles, and I couldn't find a specific reference to that, but I did find two interesting kind of quotes that I thought would be very practical for you today. And so I'd like to just tell you those quotes, and I'm going to put the links in the description so you can check out those articles themselves. I think they're pretty good articles. The first one is by, I believe, a behavioral economist from MIT, who studies irrationality. So similar to Dan Ariely of Duke, he studies irrational behavior. And this section I'm quoting is when there was a bidding on some raffle tickets or something, or no, it was a silent auction. And he let a certain set of people pay with credit card, and he let a different set of people pay only with cash. And the results stunned even the researchers. On average, we found that the credit card buyers bid more than twice as much as the cash buyers. That's got to be crazy, right? It suggests that the psychological cost of spending $1 on credit card is only 50 cents. And we've seen this play out over and over again. There have been studies in grocery stores. There have been studies at fast food restaurants. People who use credit cards consistently spend a lot more money than people who pay with cash. And I get pushback from people all the time on credit cards because people love their travel points and their credit card hacking and all that stuff. But the evidence shows over and over again, even if you're paying your credit card off every single month and not paying interest, you are still likely spending more money than you otherwise would. And therefore, in terms of happiness per dollar spent, you're getting a worse ratio likely than someone who's spending cash. My food money is in cash this month, by the way, for what it's worth. I still do sometimes use cash. It wasn't it was because I cashed in all those coins. It wasn't like an intentional, like, I'm going to use cash this month to be a better person. No, it was like, I'm going to turn my pig into food. Close enough. All right, and the second article I thought was nice because you can imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, "Get out!" Research shows that the longer a person stays in a store, the more likely he or she is to make impulse purchases. You can combat the urge to impulse buy by being a focused shopper. Create a shopping list at home before you go to the store. Once you are there, stick to the list and get in and out as quickly as possible. Get in and out as quickly as possible. Don't browse or examine things you are not planning to get. Avoid taking free samples or trying on clothes just to see how they look. Don't talk to employees unless you have to. Typically, their aim is to sell you more stuff. Shop alone whenever possible. If you are doing social shopping with friends, you will probably linger longer. If you are shopping with your children, you are likely to hear, "I want it," or "Can I have it?" at least once or twice, because they have ultra lizard brain. For me though, I really just focus on get in and out as fast as possible. Start keeping track of it. Start, how long does it take you to do your grocery shopping in minutes? How long are you standing there at the checkout line? I don't do a lot of like mall shopping, so if you ask me to clock the average amount of time I spend shopping for clothing, maybe in 5 years I'll tell you when I go shopping for clothing. But I just thought this was a very simple, very nice idea. Is when you have to go shopping for something and go to a retail store, think to yourself before you go in, how quickly can I do this? And make that your focus, instead of, just ogling around all the stuff that you could possibly buy. And, if you've got significant other and you do grocery shopping together and you split up the list, then you can even make it like a game, like who can finish their list faster, all that kind of thing. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you tonight. 5-Year Club video number 164. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that you will save some money this year by getting in and out of those retail shops as fast as possible and recognizing that if you use a credit card for your purchases, you will likely overspend, so you need to be really careful. Okay, have a fabulous evening.